Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again on the Discipline Therapy podcast um, with your two hosts, Suhey Sotomayor, and with me always, Mr. EL Discipline. You're going to do your thing?
Mm. Is season
Not
10
yet.
yet?
Not yet.
Oh.
I knew you were going to say that. Not yet.
We know y'all fiends, and y'all know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy where everything is completely free. See, if you subscribe, there's no monthly fee. It's free. It's judgment-free, sucker-free, censor-free, sensitive-free, and plenty of liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, or roll a blunt, but
Mhm.
the main thing is make sure the children are in bed. Because we have some soulful conversation. Prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast. We're
We're here.
here.
See, I was about to, and then I remembered you said that was just your thing. So no more chest pounding for me. All right. Well, this is episode 82, and little treat for you guys. This is we are going to have a book discussion, well, chapter discussion, right?
Yeah.
From Strong Bonds Never Break, which is chapter 10 in the
Yeah.
yeah, it will,
Strong. Yeah.
yep. Um and it's Checkmate. And I have a lot of questions about that, but we also have a guest caller.
Mm.
Hello, guest caller. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
All right. So this is we're going to talk about his book, specifically chapter 10, which is Checkmate. Um and I hear you have the book. You read it?
Yes, I read it.
All right. Now, do you want to state your name or do you want to remain anonymous?
I would like to remain anonymous.
All right.
All right. Okay. So, I mean, you're gonna be controlling everything.
Ooh, how do you feel about that? little off. She she liked that. She was like, "That's a good one."
Um. Yeah, a little off, but you've already known. Even before you met me, I've been doing live interviews, going to other people's platforms.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just gotta get back into that.
To being the interviewee,
Yeah,
not the
I'll
interviewer.
transform real
All right,
quick.
there we go. All right. So, Checkmate. Well, let me start off with our caller. Do you have what are your thoughts on chapter 10? Like, what do you have to say if you have any questions or comments about it?
I have a lot of questions. I
All
really
right.
like, yeah, I really like that chapter because it gave three different dimensions. Like, it gave three different stories
Mm-hmm.
of that chapter. So yeah, I have a lot of questions.
All right. So let's just dive right into that. What's your first question?
Okay, it says it was an excerpt from the book. It says, "Once you learn the game, you can play like everyone else." Do you think Dom walked around with the attitude kill or be killed with his enemies or people that he felt that crossed him?
Mm,
That is a good
damn,
off the bat, off the right
damn.
out the gate. She's gonna hit you with these questions.
She's good.
I like you,
Dom,
caller.
Dom said that. Dom said that to us today, yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cole? Yeah, it was after the situation with Maria. They were in DR, and he was
Mhm.
driving. He was driving them back to the hotel, and
Mhm.
she was like, Poppy, I'm so impressed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how did you pull that off? And then you had
Mhm.
me. I don't want to give too much away. And that scene, you had me do this or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when he hit her with that line. Yeah, Dom is you know, Dom is just a special character,
He sure
Yeah.
and
is.
he
Mhm.
one of the thing with Dom is he will utilize his surroundings to his advantage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lion in the jungle. And he does have that mentality, kill or be killed.
Now, can I ask you this? Does he still have that mentality, or is that a mentality that he had, in his younger years, as you've described how his life was? Actually,
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll let her get through it.
mm-hmm.
But Dom, just a quick character analysis, right? He's from the streets.
Right.
Both his parents passed away, people will get it in the last
Right.
book.
That's why I stopped myself. I was like, wait a
Yeah.
second, you didn't do that.
So yeah, so he he was raised in the street environment and entering street endeavors. So now he utilized what he learned from the streets into the corporate aspect
With his business.
with his
Mhm.
business. So corporate is just like the streets. Corporate is very cutthroat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to know
Who
who
you're-
you're dealing with. And I'll give you an example, right? Just jumping off this book topic. But I'm a big fan of Godfather. Part 1, 2, and 3. So part 2, after they attempted to assassinate Michael
Mhm.
in his home, he was talking to Tom Hagen, his counselor,
Mhm.
right? And he said to him, I can't trust Fredo. He's weak and he's stupid. But like I could trust you. You're the only one I could trust. I'm gonna leave town. You're gonna be the Don. Everybody's gonna listen to you. And he's like, I'm not about this business. Choose one of the soldiers. And he said they're only loyal to a cause, not verbatim. But
Mhm.
he said they're only loyal to the business. I inherited those guys from my father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're only loyal to the business. They only respect the business. So it doesn't matter who's the head. They're still gonna follow whatever they need. You're the only one I could trust. So this is the key thing. He said one of the things my father taught me was try to think how people around you
Mhm.
think in
Get
your
into-
circle.
Get into their
Mhm.
minds.
So that's what
Mhm.
Dom does. But yeah, that was a good
Mhm.
question.
That was a good. All right, go. I like it.
Yeah. Do you think that Dom, in a way of his lifestyle, wanting money and power and full domination, could potentially lead to his demise?
Mm.
Wanting money and power
Power, yeah, 'cause yeah,
and full domination.
Will that bring him to his demise?
demise.
Um
Damn it,
I
Carly, you
don't
got some good ass
yeah.
questions, girl.
I don't believe so because I think with
Mm.
Dom, he is he's constantly thinking ahead. And have you seen in the in the books, he's very humble. People like I
Mhm.
don't shine a light on a lot of those things. I show a lot of
Mhm.
the bad aspects of him, which
Huh.
makes him like an
Mhm.
asshole. But
Humble
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You'll see it in
in the last book mostly.
yes.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Especially how he empowers and puts people in position to succeed.
Now, just to piggyback off of her question, with your answer, do you think that's because there's another person in his life that is more, like that, like more, I don't want to say unhinged, but more reactionary. So he has to be the one with the cool, calm, collected head.
Um,
I'm talking about Sophia.
Sophia.
I mean, I
Yeah.
just gotta say it
Um,
now because he
no,
doesn't. No, okay, all right,
no, no.
all right.
I think Dom is just kind of like a general of an army.
Mm,
He's just constantly
he knows how to delegate.
yeah.
Okay, all right, go.
Okay, what happens to the Conciliere, which isn't spoken in the chapter after Dom tells the mob boss that has taken him away out of his organization? Now he works for Dom
Hmm.
because I could assume to a certain extent in mob culture that's labeled as a rat. So what
Yes,
ends up happening to him?
She's like, I need
yes.
to know.
She
You see,
read.
she's
To
smart. She's like,
know.
I'm gonna talk to the author.
She's
I
right.
need to ask what happened to this man.
So the Conciliere Franco, which is his name,
Mm-hmm.
you're absolutely right. However, you have to understand something. Street code is not equivalent to corporate.
Mm,
A lot of these mobsters are loyal to a cause because a
mm,
lot of them ratted as soon as they were like, you're not beating a RICO case. You'll
yeah.
be better to get a case of a homicide or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not beating a RICO case. So the reality is, once you're facing that and you feel like you have a lot to lose, most of them are gonna rat.
That's true.
So they're not even the bosses. They're not following that code. They're only loyal to a cause. So the reality is, even in the book, Dom says to the Conciliere, yo, this La Costa Nostra bullshit is only temporary. Like this shit don't even matter. And then there's a scene towards the end with the actual Italian mob boss. Dom was saying how I don't want to give too much away, but he was saying how you see who you trusted. You know what I'm saying? The people that you know what I'm saying? Like I got accomplished this because I was able to build a team. While you had all your people around you for years, they were quick to come around me. They were quick to throw you under the bus. So yeah, he's considered red. However, Dom made it perfectly clear, if you're gonna work for me, what are your goals? Because I can make you very wealthy where you could be taking care of your
children, your
daughter, because
grandchildren.
I know your daughter has a child on the way. So he put that out there. And then their grandkids. You see what I'm saying? So he's like, this La Costa Nostra bullshit. You're gonna ride for this, and then you're gonna end up dead or in jail. But you could have this outcome where it would be this way. And he told them specifically, when you work for me, there's gonna be certain standards. You're gonna be dressed in suits all day. Make sure the firearm is licensed.
Don't be gaudy.
Make sure you're on time. On time is late. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, he could be considered a rat. However, you got to look at it on street code and corporate is different.
But now let me piggyback on her question again. I want to say I feel like you touched on what happens to him in the last book. Like he's working for him now, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah. That's what.
Yeah, I missed that part.
Yeah. No, because I don't think that
But
it's in that one.
Dom offered his protection.
Yeah.
Because like she was saying, what happens to him, Dom's already thinking ahead.
Right.
Because he already knows, yo, once your boss finds out, like, but you could come on the winning side. And on the winning side, we're not savages over here.
We take care of you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll take care of you. So
All right, next question. Look at me, I'm so excited.
Do you think in the beginning, Miguel, which is Dom's partner in the nightclub venture, knowing of Dom's intentions from day one, that's why he didn't want to do business with him, or not just because he was black, because he didn't want to do business with him because he was black too?
So Miguel,
got some good questions,
she does.
man.
She does. Miguel has an issue with Dom because it's not just because he's black. He's jealous because Dom is everything he wants to be. Miguel is like a beta. He's actually barely a co-partner to Carlos. Carlos is the actual owner, right, of the clubs and different enterprises
in DR, right?
In DR. Yeah. So Miguel bringing Dom on, he saw how much admiration and adoration Carlos had for Dom.
So he was jealous.
He was jealous because he's like, yo, I've known you. Well, this isn't
for years.
This isn't verbatim in the book, but like I put myself in the character's mind, just thinking, like, hermano, you know what I'm saying? Like we're brothers. We've known each other for a minute. We've been doing business. This guy is new,
he's an outsider.
And he's an outsider. And I thought you don't do business with niggas. Well, morenos, I think he said negritos. Yeah. So it's like he's jealous of him because Dom is everything he wants to be, and you're looking at it on a sense of, if you have a relationship with somebody, like we're talking longevity, somebody new comes in and they're getting that love, and now you're kind of on the outskirts, that make anybody feel a type of way.
That's true. But also going back to that, he also along the years, you know, having this business with Carlos, even Maria said he drinks too much. Even Dom noticed he's sloppy, and that's why Carlos isn't confiding and trusting him anymore. So now when he sees Dom with all these fresh ideas, and you know, you compare them, of course he's gonna want to do business with Dom. which again makes Miguel very insecure and angry and jealous.
And you
Yeah.
you have to understand specific word choice. When Dom leaves, what do you think about this guy? Yo, I think he's just I don't like him. I don't know what it is, but I don't trust this guy. Yeah, but a guy like that will be loyal. He'll break his back for you. He's a shark. He
Mhm.
is his business expertise.
He's savvy,
We
business
need
savvy.
somebody like this on our team. So when he's saying all these things, it's like Miguel's looking at it like, I'm not like this. What am I, chopped liver?
He's insecure.
Yeah, so that builds even more, like you said,
Animosity, yeah.
insecurity, animosity, and that animosity turns into like you want so much revenge, you want to get rid of this guy.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
now, you put somebody in a position where they need you. Like Miguel's in a position where now he's looking like he's almost not needed.
Right. Like I feel like he thinks that if Dom gets in there, he's gonna be pushed out of the picture. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, go.
Okay. Do you think Maria, which is Miguel's wife in the book, deserved to be manipulated and blackmailed by Dom and Estrella, even though she betrayed her husband, which ultimately led to demise?
Oh wait, what do you think about that, caller? Do you think she deserved it?
Yes.
Me too. Go ahead, go. She was
I
like,
feel
hell
like
yeah.
I feel like when you play with fire, you're gonna get burnt.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how
Yeah.
I felt, and I felt like she took vows with that person. She wasn't supposed to do that, no matter how Dom looked to her.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what do you think, Mr. EL Discipline,
Um
on this character?
listen, for every reaction for every action there's a reaction, and like you were saying, right? Marriage is it's a serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're married and you start, going against your vows, karma's gonna hit you. Why? Because when you get married, most people that get married, they take a vow with not just their husband or wife, with God.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
like, like I know people personally that got karma, married women that got karma.
Wow.
I don't want to, I'm not a name dropper or whatever, but yes, and this is real. This is how the universe works. It's law of attraction. So Maria, man, that
Oh, Maria.
situation. Listen, she deserved it all, and it was coming.
I mean, she deserved it all, not just because of her betrayal to her husband, right? But it's like, all right, she did that bad thing. She betrayed her husband for Dom, but then she tried to, manipulate Dom now into
Yeah,
being
we're gonna
under
talk
her.
about
Oh,
that.
my bad.
We're
Okay.
gonna
All
talk about
right.
that.
All right. Go,
But
caller. Go.
go, caller.
Yeah, do you think that, like, in past episodes, do you think that she was stigmatized by
Episode, she's so cute. She said episode instead of chapter. You see?
Y-
It's a freaking show, right? In
She
your head. I'm
she
waiting
was
for that.
Yeah.
she was stigmatized. Yeah,
100%.
100%. That led to her
Being greedy and
no
wanting it
no
all
no
for
no 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 no.
herself.
You're jumping the gun
My
and you're
bad.
cutting me off.
My bad.
That led her to her destruction. Her
Mm-hmm.
business destructed because of it. She lost herself. She actually got crazy and didn't have emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Checkmate. You understand? So we're gonna talk about it, but yeah, good question.
Mm-hmm. All right, go.
Can a person in a relationship ask or expect loyalty if they themselves are not loyal to the standard in which they set for a person in the beginning of a relationship?
No,
I agree.
Okay.
I
no.
agree.
We know that Sophia is Dom's Bonnie to his Clyde, his wife, the mother of his children. If Sophia's loyalty ended with Dom due to her feeling that he's always lying because she found the receipt in his pocket, um, do you think that his loyalty would ever change to her?
Mm. Good
No,
one.
no.
Good
We
question.
had a show, season 7, episode 75, loyalty versus faithful.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Dom hasn't been faithful. He hasn't practiced fidelity. However, he's loyal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, say as far as the provider aspect, he's there, got her back, defends her. You know, even when with the book, that same book, Strong Bonds Or Break, the strip club, when he's putting pressure on the Conciliere, Franco,
Mm-hmm.
the boss's right hand, my boss's right hand, they're in the strip club,
Mm-hmm. The
and
phone. Mm-hmm.
the phone rings, and the guy's like, "Yo, your bitch is calling," and he's like, "Sophie is my wife, not my bitch.
Yeah,
So get
I
it right
remember.
and stop looking like, why is that your business? You should be concerned with getting me information on blah blah blah."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want these pictures to be. I could do email, all that. The way the digital world works, I'll have you on the next music video.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then he, takes his cigar and puts it in his drink and says, "Hey, order another drink. It's on me."
There's something floating in your drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he even defends her. So that's him still being loyal. He's not faithful.
Would there be anything that would make him disloyal to her?
Yeah.
Um,
This is like random.
no,
Nothing at all.
because okay, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't say this in the beginning, but spoilers.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
spoilers.
You gotta pop that up now.
Sophia and yeah, we gonna talk about it. Sophia went to the club with Lisa. Sophia wasn't I'm trying to think if faithful or loyal. Sophia wasn't faithful.
She was she wasn't loyal. She was faithful. She didn't do anything with him.
She
Dance.
danced with
Well,
him
she danced with the guy.
But
and
that's
had conversation,
but not
intimate
intimate.
conversation.
Was it intimate? I don't.
She
Yeah.
asked for the number. Remember?
Well, they were
She
talking
asked for the
about
number.
the
Yeah.
guy was like, "Oh, I'm Italian and Puerto Rican." She's like, "I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban." They started talking about their childhood, intimate conversation. She
Yeah.
wasn't faithful,
That's
and
true.
because how Dom was so much, but Lisa was an influence. Lisa pushed her to the guy.
Mm.
You understand? So Dom ends up finding out that,
Mm.
and he still displays his loyalty.
Yeah. Even when he found out about that she connected or what, I don't know, not reconnected with a person, but she opened up her profile on
Facebook,
right.
yeah,
Even
created an
then,
account.
and they met up and all that, he still wasn't. Yeah.
That was
Damn it, Corey,
stuck
you got some good ass
between two
questions.
different
Yeah.
worlds. Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
go.
Okay. Do you think not giving your partner what they truly want in a relationship can lead to a point of betrayal?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. Last question. Why does Sophia stay with Dom if Sophia isn't into BDSM? Initially, she's vanilla.
She's loyal to a
When
fault. Sorry, go ahead.
Finish the question. I need to know.
when she learns that ultimately that's really what she wants, but at first she takes him as a joke about it. Does
Mm.
she conform to his ways, like, and later in the book? Because I haven't, I don't know. Or
Okay.
did she stick to her vanilla ways with him and the lifestyle?
Okay.
Damn it,
So
she got some good ass questions,
yes.
man.
So there's some, and I appreciate those questions.
Yes.
There's some aspects in Sophia's life that's vanilla. Others that isn't. Her mentality of currently the partner in crime, used metaphorically, is not vanilla.
Mm.
Women that are
Mhm.
vanilla are not ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Sophia. This is the problem with Sophia. Everything dominant in her day to day. Her Achilles heel is her emotion. She's short tempered, hothead. So if Sophia gets her emotions in check, she'll be on board with everything because she's already submissive domestically.
But she's very jealous. She's very
That's what I'm
territorial and
saying. That's
possessive.
part of emotion.
Mm.
You understand? That's part of emotion. So, if she was to get all that in check, she would be she'd be down with everything because she's more unconventional than she is conventional and vanilla. If you
Mm.
think about it, you know what I'm saying? She's not normal. She's not boring.
So,
See?
do you to
Maybe
to
just in the sexual environment, okay, she's probably into the vanilla sex, but outward and everything else, she's not really that vanilla.
in the book you do say that he gets bored because it is the vanilla sex, but she doesn't like the choking that he does with Estrella. That, like, I can't remember if you said that he's never done it because she just never liked it.
Mhm.
Maybe. Stuck
Mm,
between two different worlds, I
Yeah.
think. The first
yeah,
book.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, those were good
yeah.
questions. So I
Thank
mean, why
you.
does she stay? I mean, like I said, she's loyal to a fault, and and that's her high school sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? She grew up without a father, so
Yeah, that all plays a part.
Dom is kind of like a father figure,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, if like Sophia's traditional, she's old school, so you gotta understand that if you build longevity with somebody and you're doing everything, and that's the father of your kids and your husband, um, you know, you can't just walk away right away. I mean, she tried, right? She created the
Mm-hmm.
Facebook
Mm-hmm.
account and stuck between two different worlds. Um, she was having conversation with somebody. I like that
I
scene.
love that scene.
You
Yeah,
know,
that was a good scene.
Yeah.
and the thing is, like, it's like she saw there's really nothing really out there. She went to the club. She didn't want to dance. Lisa forced her physically, and then
Mm-hmm.
she ended up kind of connecting with the dude. Did she give the number?
I think the caller said she asked for the number.
Yeah.
He asked for the number.
Yeah, he asked for the
He
number.
asked for the
Oh,
number,
got you.
and she didn't give the number away, but
Mhm.
Lisa got the number.
Because she was talking to the other
Mhm.
guy. Lisa,
Yes,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Mm-hmm.
Sophia said block him.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
Dom found out, he would.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
don't
don't
want
want
nothing
that
to
smoke.
happen to him,
Yeah.
or stuff like that. So
All
I
right.
got one more question, which is not
Yes.
that, but
okay,
I just got one more,
okay,
which is not that chapter though.
okay.
But we found out that initially Dom and like Lisa and Dom had something.
Mm.
So did Sophia ever find that out? And why
False,
was she
false. Let me
talk?
correct you. Let me
Oh,
correct you. Let me correct you. In stuck between two different worlds.
Yep.
Stuck between two different worlds. Lisa goes to Dom's club. She barges into the office. Why are you just coming into my office? You're not knocking. Whatever. How do you pass through the guards? She walks in and she's like, I don't like what you're doing to my friend, your wife.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If this shit is a fling with this kitten, quote unquote, woman, that's what it is. But you gotta understand that you don't wanna get into a fling if it's not really going anywhere and break up this she's a good woman, blah blah blah. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, he says, you gotta stay out of my business. Between what's between Sophia and I is between us. He and then I think she bends over in front of him and she doesn't have panties on. And he says something and she's like, you shouldn't mind looking at that because you've already, you know, I don't know verbatim, but let's just throw a hypothetical. You've already seen particular. Now, Dom says to her, "Is this why you you hate me so much? Because I was involved with your sister,
Yeah.
your twin, identical sister, and you felt like you should have been the one." So
But
Lisa, I think, changes the subject.
weren't they talking and then he went with the sister? Like, they were supposed to hook up,
Yes, he
but then
said
he
that
got with
too.
the sister. Yeah.
Yes,
That
and
Dom's
that's
a
what
dirty,
that's what
dirty
he said.
boy.
So he was like, you know, did you want to be the one? And
Mm.
is that why, you feel a type of way towards me or whatever it is?
Yeah.
And that's what ended up happening. So I don't even know if I put that Sophia knows about that.
No. I've never read in any of the books
Yeah,
that
no,
is that.
that's what I wanted to
yeah.
She's
know.
like, I
So
need to know this.
so I think I don't think Lisa really hates Dom. I think she wants Dom.
Mm.
and her best friend, sister, like Sophia, who she considers family, also got him. Like everybody got him.
Except
My
her.
twin sister was with him, and now my best friend is married to him. So maybe she wants to be down. You see what I'm saying?
Maybe.
It's like this in life. Like women could, you touch her in any emotion, she's gonna gravitate towards you. This guy's such an asshole. I can't stand him. The reality is she really wants you.
Mm-hmm.
She probably wants you to have sex with her. You see, like
Yeah.
a lot of women are like that.
Mm.
So I think that's a situation I created with Lisa and Dom. Dom is really not interested, but I think she wants someone like him.
Something.
Maybe
Yeah.
him specifically.
Yeah. Could be. Good
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you for being on the show and sharing these really amazing questions, because you got them a couple of times there. You was like, wait a
Yeah.
second, let me think about this.
Yeah, she really went into
She
the
really did. I
chapter in
love
the
that.
book.
I
Yeah,
love that. I love when the callers, the guests really
yeah,
have thought behind it.
definitely,
Thank you
definitely.
so much for being on the show. I loved it. Love the questions.
Thank you guys so much for an opportunity.
All
All right.
right.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
All right.
All right.
Okay, let's get into it.
All right.
You
Well,
got questions?
yes. I want to know, first and foremost, the chapter name is Checkmate, right?
Yes.
So and in that chapter, that happens to be the longest chapter in the book.
Yeah, is it
Correct?
like 70 something pages?
It's pretty long.
Yeah.
And in that chapter, Dom says it and Estrella says it.
hmm
Now, in the book, Sophia eventually doesn't say it. What is the significance of
She
Checkmate?
does say it.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, but in different chapters.
Right. What is the significance of that phrase checkmate to the characters?
Well, checkmate is a term that you use in the intellectual game chess.
Mm-hmm.
Is when you capture the other person's king, the game is over. Checkmate.
Right.
Check. So we could even shorten it. Like if I say, yo, I checked you,
Mm-hmm.
like I put you in your place.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
they're just showing the person that they're saying it to, they're just telling them, I got you.
yeah. So the whole chapter is like eventually Dom sees the whole board. So you have to understand, right? At the end of chapter 9, he finally meets the mob boss.
Okay.
Now, spoilers. Stuck between two different worlds, Sophia killed the capo
Right.
in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So Dom is saying, just to recap, do we know who this guy is?
Mm-hmm.
You just blew his head off before I could get answers. And she's like, well, you were in here all this time. You could say, thank you for me saving your life.
Mm-hmm.
You were in here all this time. You couldn't get all this information. And he's like, well, let me ask him.
Right.
So he goes and says, who are you? Is there cameras in here? The people know where you are. Blah, blah, blah. He's asking all these questions. Huh? I can't hear anything. Sophia, you blew his head off.
Yeah, that was a funny part.
So now, he's like, we probably got to get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Because if people know he's here, or whatever it is,
Right,
they're going to come looking
come.
for him, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's when they go to the hospital. I'm only going to go to this hospital with this type of woman. Who is this woman? But I already talked about it in the last show.
Mm-hmm.
Now they need to go back, the season premiere. Now he meets him.
Mm-hmm.
He gets kind of kidnapped, put into the limousine.
Yeah.
Guy smoking a cigar, raspy voice, has a like a what do they call those? Panamanian hat.
Mm-hmm.
And suit. And then he introduces himself. I was wondering weeks ago where my capo was. And then he's like, I hear that you're responsible. So now Dom's like, oh shit.
Like I was right.
Yeah, so now
have connections.
So now chapter 10 begins with you owe me.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's gone and he was in charge of whether it's shipments, whether it's this, whether it's that. All this stuff has come to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
I'm losing money.
Mm-hmm.
So you owe me. Dom's like, hey, yo, I'm rich. What you want? 5 million, 10 million, 2 million?
Yep.
Let's get it done. No, I'm not gonna make it that easy.
Right.
So what does he say?
He wants his stocks and bonds.
For the kids.
Yeah.
But that's my kids though.
My kids. That's future generational wealth I'm putting for my kids.
He's like, this isn't a debate.
Yeah.
Because the alternative is.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's when he said, you have so and so in your life. I know about her.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's like, he says, I know where your kids go to school.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter went to one of your son's football games. I bet on the games. I bet on professional games. And then he says, I know where Reina goes to school, Ray plays football. They could be target practice if I want.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, I could fuck your beautiful wife, Sophia.
Yeah.
You influence your mistress.
Mistress.
He's like, oh, she's not a mistress, but I don't give a fuck what she is.
Mhm.
So now, he's like, okay, I need time. Yeah, you could get time. I'm not talking about now. I know stuff like this take time.
Right.
So
Let me ask you a question regarding that specific scenario that you created.
and the location was the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That he got off of the phone. No, that wasn't it yet. When he got the information off the phone yet from Bill. Okay. How did you come up with letting the capo fuck up by saying that he had a daughter?
No, it was the mob boss.
That's what I meant. The mob boss. Like how
He
did
fucked
you?
up just now. You
Yeah,
didn't hear?
that's what I'm saying. How did you get? How did that come about in your mind? Like,
Because
that
it's
you were like,
subconscious. The nigga,
okay.
the nigga just said, I know your kids.
Right, because my daughter's been to your son's.
My daughter.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't think about it. And when I was writing this, I did it strategically. He didn't mention a son. He didn't mention how many kids. He said my daughter. So I'm probably thinking it's singular.
Right.
Probably had one kid.
My kids, right?
Yes. So while I'm writing this, I say this. Now, Dom doesn't realize this until he's let go, because when he goes back into his car, he puts, and I narrate this rigorously. Puts his hands on the wheel, and then his forehead touches the wheel, relieving a sigh. And then he says, you gotta think. And he's like, looks up in the ceiling area. Wait a minute. He has a daughter? He fucked up.
That's why when I was reading it, I was like, what?
So now, okay. So this is what happens though. Dom is getting a phone call from the mob boss, the Italian mob boss. He's sleeping in bed with Sophia. He looks at the caller ID, doesn't pick it up. Now, when Dom goes to the school, hey, Sophia's like, hey, I'm going to be busy with this. Can you pick up Reina? Yeah, no problem. Dom arrives at the school. He sees Reina talking to a man. He rushes over there. And then when they have the conversation, hey, Poppy, you didn't tell me your friend. Yeah. Oh, me and your dad go way back. So he's like, he pulls her to the side. Reina, go in the car and wait for me. He's like, yo, my fucking daughter's school. I want to show you that I'm serious. I called you last night. I was with my wife. What else am I supposed to do? I don't give a fuck. When I call you, answer, I said.
Yeah.
So now he takes her home and he has to lie.
This is in chapter 10 though, right?
Yeah.
Is it? I read the whole chapter 10. I didn't read it, this part.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So you didn't read all of it then.
I'm like, wait a second.
So now he's like, wait a minute. It's definitely in chapter 10, but I'm trying to think.
It's not. It's in chapter 9, because in chapter 10 he tells him, you gotta give me money, and I don't care. I've already met Reina.
You're right. My bad.
Can we just pause right now?
My bad.
And take this in?
What? You're right. Okay.
I read chapter 10. I read the book.
All right. Don't get gassed
All
up
right.
because I'm saying you're right. Okay. So you're right. I apologize.
That's okay.
So yes. So now chapter 10, Okay, so now he says he fucks up. Now they come out,
Mm-hmm.
and as he comes out, he takes his phone, chick, chick, chick,
Mm-hmm.
brings it to Bill. Remember,
Yep.
they don't meet Robert yet
Yeah.
until he goes to jail.
Mm-hmm. Spoiler.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Bill, yo, I need you to find out everything.
Mm.
And that's what happened. So what I like is when he says I need time, guess what Dom is doing?
Getting information.
Yeah, and he went on vacation. So he went to Miami and he found his wife.
Mm-hmm.
They're divorced. So what
Yep.
does Dom do? Sexual charisma, adds that little charm, becomes a business partner with her.
Mm-hmm.
She inherited businesses from the divorce
Mm-hmm.
that he currently owns. So now
And she hates him enough to be like, oh, okay.
when they go to the mobster's restaurant, when he went to the restaurant the first time and he was told all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Dom went there with guards. They kidnapped the Conciliere,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
the Franco guy. So when they had him in the they had him tied to a chair, and he's like, "Yo, listen, I
I'm
guess
not
the
gonna
guy was ready
snitch.
to. Yeah, I'm not gonna snitch. I'm ready to die."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Why would I kill you? I need you. I could
Yeah.
use you."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm not giving you no information." Then Dom takes his phone,
Mm-hmm.
click, click, click. Yo, this shit look good. He says to one of the guards, "What do you think?" Yeah. So then he's like, "So what would your boss think if he
Mm-hmm.
saw these pictures?" And I could email it. But the way the digital world is, you'll be on the next music video when I'm done with you.
Yeah.
So now he's like, "Oh shit!" And I said, "And you know how savage he is. I don't know. You've been
Mm-hmm.
working with him. So do you think when he's witnesses this, you're still gonna be alive? What about your family?"
Right.
So now it's like you don't just care for yourself because you're ready to die.
Right.
But when he's like, "Yo, your family and blah blah blah,"
Mm-hmm.
so now he's like, "Man, like, what do you need?"
Right. Which brings me back to the question that the caller said about, well, he's considered a rat. But at the same time, I wanted to say he really knows how the mob boss is. And if he is, decided to switch teams like that, is because the mob boss is that ruthless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like a survival of the fittest right
But
now. For him.
the reality is Dom, and to expound on her question, snitching and rats when it comes to the corporate world. I'm gonna
Mm,
give you an example. Not you, but people out there probably work with the racist boss
mm,
or people that are snitches and they don't like, but they would never go have a drink with them and go to the club, but they'll work with them.
that's true.
So the reality is, when it pertains to business, Dom knows that I can trust this guy pertaining to the business because there's more for that.
Right.
Because he has a lot to lose.
Right.
In going in that lifestyle, the La
Mhm.
Costa Nostra,
Mm-hmm.
he clearly has nothing to lose because he's ready to die.
Mm-hmm. And those are different kind of in some ways they have different rules, especially when it
Yeah.
comes to that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Mhm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So now, the strip club, which I mentioned,
Yeah.
hey, I still don't have information. One of the things I liked about that, we was also a checkmate, was when when the Conciliere, Franco was like, "You know what, Muliano?
You're
He,
cocky.
you're cocky." And then he said to him, something about a bullet could put an end to all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dom says, "Well, no car in the world can outrun fate."
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, which you have to understand, where he's comparing himself to a god, which I like. He's like,
Because of the piece that he had on.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Jesus piece. And he's
Mhm.
like, what does that mean to you? And he's like, he tells him what it is. And he's like, well, you have to understand how God is. God is all powerful. He knows all and
Mhm.
is all. And he's like, you understand? Which he's talking about himself.
Yeah.
So it's like, once he put into perspective what's really on the line, the guy's like, shit, I gotta get back in line.
Mm.
And he's like, yo, have that information for me. Ignores him, takes the cigar out of his mouth, puts it in his drink, There's something floating in there.
Yeah.
Get yourself another drink. It's on me.
But
Walks out.
I think that particular scene, you do things in that chapter, well, throughout the book, but because we're talking about that chapter, so like while you're reading it, it's like he put his phone face down because the last time he was looking, he was nosy and he looked at it and he said, "Oh, your bitch is calling."
Yeah.
But in reality, when he put it face
Yes.
down, I know.
Yeah.
In
They was at the
reality,
fitness
that's
club.
what at the end because Franco was like, you know what? Go show him. I don't give a fuck. He knows me. He doesn't know you.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, who's he gonna really believe? He's
Yeah.
gonna know that you came, but he's gonna know me.
Yes.
Until that.
Yes. So now that
like
was at the
that.
fitness club, Dom's fitness club.
Yep.
He had him come to. Then after that, they go to the cafe and he's like, "Yo, I want to show you something, motherfucker." Because the guy got all like boisterous on him,
Yeah,
like,
high and
"Yo,
mighty.
fuck you.
Yep.
I'm getting out of this now.
Yep.
I'm done. I'm not gonna be doing this.
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm not helping you.
I want to show you something."
Mhm.
So now he's like, and then when he saw what he saw, whatever, he was like, "Now you gonna listen to me, motherfucker,
Mhm.
and this is how it's gonna be. You gonna stick to him like fly on shit,
Yep. That was his
and you're
checkmate.
gonna make sure there's no issues, or I'm gonna be a big one for you."
Mhm.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
And then
those
he's
sneaks.
like, he nods, and then and Dom is saying this softly but forceful because there's people around, so he doesn't want people to hear. And then he's like, "Do you understand?" He nods his head and he says, "We'll be in touch, right?" Yes. So
Yeah.
you can excuse yourself
Yeah.
now because that's Dom's cafe.
Yep.
So he's like, "You can excuse
Definitely.
yourself." So now he gets all this information. So now when it's time, here's the big meeting for the stock. Dom
Mhm.
comes in with the briefcase.
Mhm.
So they go to the mob boss's restaurant, and then he's like, the papers. Yo, you think I'm dumb? This is not even half.
Mhm.
You must have a death wish. So now he's like, I actually don't have a death wish. Vinny, what was his last name? Vincent,
With an M, I think. Morello? Or is that
maybe
Franco?
Morello. Vincent Morello, 47 years old,
Mhm.
born in Brooklyn, wife Linda, and daughter Angelina.
And that's where he hit them with the, by the way, I saw Linda.
Yes. She's in Miami. I have businesses out there.
She's my business.
She's
partner.
inherited a lot of
Yeah.
things from your divorce. You know what? We have similar interests. We both don't like you, but she doesn't like you more than me. I wonder what you did. So now it was so easy to get her to be a business partner. And is what I own. So he's astonished because he's like, how the fuck
Yep. How'd
did
you get all
you?
this?
Yes. And then he's like, motherfucker. And he's like, oh no. I don't know her yet.
Yeah, that was funny.
I don't know her yet.
But give me time.
Give me time. And then he's like, this is when you really should give a fuck.
Yeah.
Your daughter wants to be a doctor, and she wants to go to the school that Sophia and I give millions to.
Yes.
Now, what if her grades just
Aren't good
weren't
enough.
that good enough to get there? You think that? I know that can demolish a child emotionally
Yeah.
and psychologically. You know, her dream Ivy League school. You know, what would you do? Hey, she you know what? She could drop out and be a gangster like you. So now he's not having emotional intelligence.
Yes, I was gonna
So now
say that.
he's
I like how you made him, my boss, so calm and cool and collected this whole time until that point in the book right there. You see him just
checkmate. So now he snaps his fingers. The guards grab Dom. Dom says, "It's take him out back."
No, wait, not in the beginning. In the beginning, the mob boss grabs him and he's like, "You really want to do that? We're in public.
Oh yeah,
people see you."
Yes,
I'm surprised.
You're right. You're right. Then they say,
And then he goes, "Grab him,
take him out back." And then he says, "I don't think that's a good idea. You see this button? There, when you're walking around doing your thing, I put something on the back of your neck, which is undetectable to the human flesh. Can't feel it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this button can kill us all when nobody will be making money. When
Mhm.
when the news when the news reporters come in, there'll be blood all over these walls.
Right.
So then he's like, you won.
Yeah.
So he
No.
has no choice but to let him go.
Right. But he does. He's very fair. Like that's one thing that I will say. You made this character so very
Choices.
about his Like he even says, I agree with you because of what we did to your capo. You know, you're losing out money. I'm a man of I'm a businessman,
Yeah.
and I know that this is what I owe you, and that's all I owe you.
Yeah.
So I like
So
how
he
he still
still
did it.
end up he still
He
ended up
still did
giving
it.
him
Yeah, he's a
the
man of
stuff.
his word, definitely.
So now Dom is scot free, right?
Maybe.
He gets a call from Maria.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, something happened. You need to come to DR.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the business. Before he could say what's going on, she hung up.
Right.
So he tells Estrella.
Mm-hmm. Because
Now,
he had a weird feeling. Well,
yeah,
no, because he kept calling.
yes, but woman intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Estrella's like, can I come with you? I think I should come.
Mm.
And he's like, I don't know. I mean, it shouldn't be that big a deal. And she's like, I think I should come because she never trusted her.
Mm-hmm.
This is like
Yeah,
even
that's
going
true.
back to Stuck Between Two Different
Mm-hmm.
Worlds. She never trusted Maria.
Right.
So now, the moment Dom arrives to DR into the office, she's sitting in the office solo.
Well, he also knew something was up because every time he tried to call Carlos, it went
Yes.
straight to voicemail, and he would only answer him through text now. He
Yes.
said, he said,
Yes.
look at me, he said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think from what I remember, that's what made him be like, wait a second, something's up.
Yeah.
And that's when he told Estrella that, and she was like, maybe I should go with you.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Maybe that's how it happened. Yeah.
It's okay.
So, this is just from memory. Like I
Right.
kind of just skimmed through it.
Right.
So
It's funny how you put him in one situation, and then when you think he's out of that, you put him in another. And then when you think he got that under control, it's like, okay, after all of that, when he goes to DR with Estrella and he meets Maria, he finds out, what she did and all that stuff. It's like, all right, they got her in check, that situation in check. Now he goes home.
let me just tell the audience what happens.
Mm-hmm.
When she's sitting in the office solo, he's like, "Where's Carlos? Where's Miguel?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's when she's like, she starts telling him how they went at it, and he's no.
She was kind of more vague. She's like, he's not here. And then he said, well, she told them they both died or whatever. She was very vague in the beginning.
She's the reason.
Yes, right. But she was vague in that beginning, which is why he felt when she made her demands, like, I'm the boss now.
Yeah.
Now, and what I want is you and the sex whenever I want.
This is why I want to tell the audience.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's a delicate situation.
Yeah.
And I did this purposely. She says, I own everything now. And since you didn't get a chance to sign on the dotted line, you're not a partner yet.
Mm-hmm. You're an associate.
So if you want to be, I want sex. I want you, I want this. So now she uses her power, her influence, her money to get him and the BDSM sex from him and the dominant. Now what happens is he's like, fuck that, I'm not doing that. I'll just open something separate and we could compete with each other and see who wins. You don't understand, I own everything out here. I'm gonna blackball you.
Right. I'm gonna put red tapes up.
Yeah. So now he's like, damn, like there's money out here to make. And I really want this. So he like gives in, and then it's like, oh, don't be sad. I really like you. This is nothing personal.
Very condescending.
Yeah, this is nothing personal, we'll have fun working together and etc. So now, something happens, they check. This is what happens. this is how I did it. I was like, yo, how am I gonna get? So she tells Dom to meet her at a restaurant. How am I gonna get her to go to the bathroom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good one.
I was like, how
No,
am I?
but you forgot what happened before that.
What?
Because all right, so before that, he says, all right, I have no choice but to do this, right? To get what I want, I have no choice but to go and have sex with her.
Yeah.
And but before, like, he met with her, she said what she wants, and he left, right?
Mhm.
And he went to back to the hotel where Estrella was at, and she saw how tense he was, and she was like, "What, what happened? I don't want to talk about it." But then
She
as she
started
sat down,
massaging
right,
him.
and then they spoke. So after that, Maria texts him, "I want to see you at this hotel because now she wants to have sex." He's like, "All right." And now that's when he put his plan in motion.
Yeah, and I'm not giving that away.
Exactly.
Now, when they go to the
Restaurant.
or whatever, cafe, whatever it
Mhm.
was, I said to myself, how am I gonna make her go to the bathroom
Right.
beyond her control?
Right.
So Dom says, bring your finest champagne.
Mhm.
And then she's like, oh, are we celebrating? He's like, yeah,
To ownership.
we're celebrating to ownership.
That was a good one.
So now
rereading it, I'm like, it's all right there.
So now she's drinking. He's like, go ahead, another one. And she's like, Mister, if I didn't know any better, you were trying to get me drunk so you could take advantage of me.
Yup.
And she was like, ooh, but I want that.
Yeah.
Like, I like that.
And he goes, is it that obvious?
Yes.
Yeah, because he doesn't lie. Yup.
Still playing.
Still playing, but being honest. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. I love that about that character.
Yo, I did it
I
on purpose
love that.
because you want to hide something, put it in plain sight.
Yup. Everything. Him getting the bottle purposely to get her drunk and to feel, you keep drinking. You're gonna have to go to the bathroom.
So now when she walks to the bathroom, Estrella walks in.
I had to reread that part too, where you said she was washing her hands. She looked up and she looked at the woman in the mirror and she was like, "What the fuck?"
You know why I did this?
That was a good one.
You know why I did this? Because a man should never fight a woman.
Indeed.
No, listen.
100% you're right.
Listen to me. If a man isn't put in a position to ever fight a woman, he needs to get his women to fight that woman. And that's what Dom did, like a boss. Right? So Estrella walks into the thing and says, yo, you need to sign on this dotted line. Bruja, ¿qué eso? No, wait. What the fuck are you doing here? I'm not doing no such thing. Now she says, if you don't do this, I gotta show you something. And when she realizes that, she has no choice but to
wait, it wasn't in the beginning. What she first showed her, she was like, I don't give a fuck. That was that. Yeah. Everybody does that. Yeah. That's nothing. Yeah. And then she's like, no, but wait. Let me fast forward it because this is the real good part.
This is the real
and
good
then she's
part.
like, all right, bitch. You got it.
Yes. So now when she comes out, now here's another person that had emotional intelligence in the beginning because they had power and influence and money. Now she walks out and start acting like a crazy bitch. You fucking asshole.
No, wait. You said but you said she had emotional intelligence. She had it because she had the money.
Yes.
No, I see. I know that you're the author. I'm gonna disagree. She didn't have emotional intelligence because she had the money. Once she got the money, that shit got to her head, and she thought she can go and be like, dangle the club and the partnership in front of him and be like, well, I got money now, so you're gonna have to fuck me if you want this. Excuse my vulgarness, my God.
Yeah.
No ve?
Yeah.
I don't think she had it. The money made her cuckoo crazy.
It did, but it kept her calm.
Because when she didn't have the money, she was stressed. How am I supposed to, he doesn't, my husband doesn't give me the money. He keeps me under his thumb.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, so go ahead.
So, which is another reason before he left DR, he gave her money. I think, yeah.
And that's how it all got explained.
Yeah.
Right. That's what Estrella was showing her. That part of it.
Yeah. And he was trying to be like, oh, you could start your own business. You could do this. You could do that. And you don't have to stay under his thumb. Exactly. That's what Dom was saying. So now what happened is, so now she's like, pendejo, da 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 da. She's upset. And then Dom is calm. Like, and then
I
Dom
like
says, he repeats what she said.
exactly. I love that part
Listen,
too.
I really like you.
Right.
It's nothing personal, just business. Exactly what she said.
Yeah.
He says the same thing. And then he says, understand that my slave will always dominate you, whether it was inside the bedroom and outside. And then Estrella says, checkmate, bruja.
Mm-hmm. And actually, when he tells Maria, it's nothing personal, Estrella says it's business.
Business. Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
There you go.
That's what I'm
So
saying. So he
she
got
finished
out.
this sentence.
Exactly. I like that you made him get out of this situation with the mob boss, right? Then boom, he's in a situation with Maria. Now they're under. Now they go home. They said they finished. She signs what she got to sign. All right. Dom and Estrella
Private jet.
come back home.
Yeah.
She goes to her, to her house because she has to have her kids, and he goes to his house. It's like he gets to his house, and now it's another situation that you have him
Yeah.
in. I love how this
Do you
man
remember
gets
that
like
you
no
remember that situation?
with Sophia.
Yeah, you remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah. It's because she found the receipt. This is what the caller was talking about. So she
Yeah.
finds the receipt and she calls the number,
Mhm.
and she sees that. And this is I wanted to piggyback off of her question in a way. And she calls a number and she finds out it's when and that not that she didn't know Dom went to Dominican Republic with Estrella. She knew that.
Mhm. But this was the ultimate disrespect.
Right. Which you want to give that spoiler alert or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is when she called and she's like, and the guy was like, oh, this is blah 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 in Dominican Republic, and she's like, oh, he asked, what the name was. Oh, I saw that you checked in with your husband, and she was like, yeah, she played along with it, but
Yeah.
that really got her in her
Yeah.
feelings. And when he came home, she's like pissed as all hell, like
Yeah.
pissed off. And she tells him, I know about her, but you still
This
disrespect
was
me and you still lie to my face.
this is let me break it down step by step. As soon as Dom gets home, he puts his key in. It doesn't work. He's calling Sophia. Yo, did you change the locks? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I changed the locks. Well, open the door.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, how did Mr. and Mrs. Jean enjoy their spa in DR?
Mm-hmm.
Was it good? He's like, oh shit. She hangs up.
Yeah.
So now he sneaks into the window. She's
Mhm.
like, how did you get in? Well, I noticed that when you cook, you always leave the
Yeah.
window open. She's
Yeah.
like, damn, I'll make sure I check that next time. He's like, what?
Mhm.
There ain't gonna be a next time. What's going on here? Let's
Right.
talk. She's
Right.
like, what's the talk about? So now she starts saying, after everything that you've done, and I still know about this, why do you still need to lie? You're the dumbest
Yes.
man on earth.
Yep.
And then he's like, it's not like that. It was a business thing. I had to do it this way, and that's why we did this. And he's like, yeah, but like that's her name.
Right. That's
So,
who she is.
so now she's like, fuck you, da 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 da. I'm gonna let you starve.
No. You want to eat something? Go with your wife. You want her to have your last name? Go live with her. Let her feed you. And I'm not gonna give you anything. But then a couple of minutes later, she comes and she's like,
Come eat,
dinner's on the
pendejo.
table. Right. And then when he goes and he's all, this is so good, all happy because he's getting fed. And then she goes, how you know I didn't poison you?
it? Yeah. Don't play
I
like that.
What?
Don't play like that. You're like, But the thing is, I use that scenario because my mom did that to me.
Get
She
angry
would
at you and then
hit
feed you
me,
anyway?
hit me or whatever, and I'm thinking I'm gonna be starved to death, and then 2 minutes later she's like, "Come,
Starved to death.
come eat." You know.
Exaggerated. Starved to
So
death.
I use that and I put that in there. And then after that, there was another case after that, right? What that was
Yeah. Well, I don't know how. I mean, that chapter ends with FBI coming, but I don't know if
yeah,
was it right then and there. I think it was
the next morning.
the next morning. Yes.
Yeah, the
My
next
question
morning.
to you is because the caller asked you, specifically because of that, like Dom has done so much to Sophia and she still stays. And I know with the third book, she does form her own relationship, not sexual, that I can remember with Estrella. But my question to you is, um does she do you make her, love Estrella like a friend or a sister? Like, what is your specific reason for doing that? Let me ask it like that. I don't want to put my how I interpret it into how you were thinking about it when you wrote it, when you were writing the trilogy.
In the third book, There's Still Unfinished Business, Estella's temporarily living with them because he wants to protect everybody because
of what goes
what
down.
ends up
Mm-hmm.
happening. And he feels like if everybody's close to me,
Everybody will be safe.
everybody's close to me, yeah.
Mm.
So, and I gotta watch them and protect them easier.
Mm.
But I think what Dom wanted was that. I think he wanted the family,
Mm.
together. And that's why for him, he wanted them to get along. But Sophia and Estrella ended up building a relationship outside of Dom because, well, you're gonna see it later down in the book
Yeah.
because those are different chapters. That's why I
Right.
don't want to get into
Right.
it.
Right.
But
Right.
women, like, what ends up happening is these women start having similar interests, and it now becomes something where loyalty is built
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
with both of them because I don't want to give it away,
See,
but because, like, let's say you had an issue and you don't want to tell a man, so
okay,
you tell a woman
to
who
speak to him on your behalf, on my behalf.
you well,
No.
you tell the woman because you feel like she might be more compassionate, and
Just to hear.
by her
Gotcha.
displaying that empathy, now you start building a relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give things
Right.
away.
Right.
So that starts to become a genuine
Relationship.
bond.
Friend. Right.
Yeah, outside of Dom.
Now, my
Which is-
question to you in regards to that, because Sophia is so hard. She's so hard. She's so competitive. Like, she's that type of person. But you made her so loyal and loyal to her family that the way I saw her transformation or her softness towards Estrella is because she saw that Estrella had her concern was for Dom as well. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Sophia was like, all right, she cares about him and I care about him. It's a mutual thing.
You gotta
I could be wrong.
You gotta understand this. We talked about this in the last show. Remember when she was like, "Has Estrella seen you like this before?" And he was like, "No." Then we need to get rid of her.
I see her in that specific scene. Has she seen you like this? No.
Yeah.
We gotta get rid of
Yes.
her. We gotta,
So
gotta
now,
take care of that.
now after everything that happened in that first book, coming into the second book,
Right.
getting into the second book of the trilogy, the book series, right? Strong Bonds
Mhm.
Never Break.
It is a
She
trilogy.
realizes that's the trilogy.
Oh,
It's a
trilogy
book
is just the
series.
last.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the book
see,
series.
see, all you learn from an author. I didn't know that. I thought just having 3 books was a trilogy.
No,
That's it. Prequel.
trilogy, sequel, trilogy. Yeah.
Okay, go.
Yeah. So the sequel, she's actually realizing because she didn't know the dynamic of the relationship in the first one. Remember, she thought it was a fling.
Mm-hmm. No, she didn't know. She knew it was something.
Well, yeah, because of the name.
Exactly.
But once she started to realize and seeing how they interact and realizing, yo, she's here for the long haul and she has his back as much as I do.
Right.
It is serious. And
Yeah.
because she loves him, that's enough for me to love her or whatever it is.
Right. To at least accept it.
Yeah.
Not 100%, but
100%.
I know about it. Fine. Fuck it.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
Yes.
Right.
So now, just fast forwarding, everybody thinks everything is scot free, blah 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 blah. What ends up happening is, when the feds come, they said they got a tip, and that's where chapter 10 ends.
Yeah. You're very good at the cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Very good at those cliffhangers.
Yeah. So that's where it ends. So Listen, let me tell you something. When I was working 45, 50 hours a week, come home, I dedicate an hour. Every day I set a
Time
plan of
apart.
doing something. Even till this day, currently, every day. Yo, on my off day, this is what I'm gonna do. Laundry, clean dishes, clean the house, blah blah blah.
You make a schedule.
Go to the gym every day. Like I'm gonna wake up at this time and do my whole day is planned out every day. I don't do things spontaneously. I always have a plan. So it's like when I knew that, okay, when I get off work, whether I used to be a manager in this corporation, I was working night shift. When I come home, I'm gonna dedicate an hour, then I'm gonna go to bed. So writing this, I had to really say to myself, the literary content has to flow with the title. It's Checkmate.
Yeah.
So you have to see every single aspect. And the thing with Dom that makes him unique is he will utilize your weakness against you. That's why I say cerebral executioner, more patient than a high school teacher. Because in order for you to be able to study
and you have to be very disciplined too,
and put things in motion, yes, you have to be disciplined. You have to be patient. You have to be quiet. That's why you have 2 eyes, 1 mouth, 2 ears. You have to use your surroundings to your advantage, and you have to use your skills on all your senses to your advantage.
I was gonna say senses too.
So now, how did all these people lose to Dom? He used their weaknesses against them. Maria's weakness was what?
Sex.
Him. And yeah, sex, but him.
Sex with him. Yeah.
So yeah. The Italian mob boss's weakness was and he says it later down in the chapters, but he says it. It's the same thing that makes him powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like his arrogance, his ego, his pride, right? I think he's untouchable.
Yep.
Right? And that's what it is. But it's like, yo, you you made things aware that you want to protect. So it's like you got to find out, okay, this is his biggest weakness. He doesn't give a fuck about the ex-wife.
No.
But the daughter was what it was. So we got to utilize that to control him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So Dom started picking these things. The Conciliere, Franco. What was his weakness? Like, I'm telling you. And then how did he get the soldiers from the mob boss to come to him? Their weeknesses. We said it in episode 34. This is Chess Not Checkers, chapter 4. I mean season 4. Episode 34. This is Chess Not Checkers. They need to go back.
Yeah.
That's how he got those soldiers, the Colombian ones.
Yes. Dom is very he does his research.
Yeah.
He will do his research before any move to make sure that the move he makes goes smoothly.
And this makes him formidable. This makes him formidable. That's why I say in the character analysis, he's unsuspecting, embodies the real G's moving silence lifestyle. He is he will systematically, psychologically, emotionally dissect you, break you apart, and use your weaknesses against you.
Yeah.
So it's like Maria was in control, but she didn't realize she really wasn't.
Right. Had she still had her emotional intelligence intact, she would have been in a better situation.
In real life, let me tell you something. In real life, when you meet this man like Dom, who's alpha in all sense of the word, and a woman like her who's dominant, money, power, and all this other stuff, he's gonna eventually get one up on her. If
Definitely.
he's like Dom, mentally strategic. Eventually, because the way Dom is structured, even in the 3rd book, he says to Sophia, well, this guy's gonna make a mistake eventually. How do you know? Everyone does. So when he does, we will capitalize. And that's what he's always waiting for.
Right.
If he's trying to get out of somebody's grasp. So he's paying attention to different things. If he wasn't as observant and meticulous, right, he would have never been able to do all these other things.
Right.
What if he would have pulled off with a car before the mob boss came out of the warehouse? I did everything purposely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now let me
What
ask
if
you
the
this
mob
question.
boss would have never talked about, yeah, my
Yeah.
daughter goes to your
Yeah.
son's games,
And
not
reading
even
it,
realizing.
but as a person reading it, not even realizing, it's just in conversation
this is
until I read later on.
this is the concept that I'm
Right.
making people understand. Don't threaten a man's family if you have a family
Mm,
as well and you value them.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Which is
So
what Dom
which is
says,
what,
but
yeah.
not in those words. In a different way, he said it. Yep,
Yes. So
definitely.
the reality is it was like Dom is making it like, even like the last chapter, you and I are not alike, but we're gonna do our final thoughts and then cut.
Hmm.
Dom is like, you and I are not the same. But in the warehouse in chapter 10, he's saying we are. My boss.
Mm,
You may be black and I'm Italian, but we the same.
yeah.
And he's like, we're not the same. Yeah, we are. So the reality is Dom is not saying things like, oh, I'm gonna fuck your wife, I'm gonna use your kids as target practice. Like
Right.
he was saying,
Exactly. Exactly.
that's why he's displaying that we're not the same.
Right. Right. Because I was, you know what? I was gonna say, I was gonna touch on that exactly like how you did. The mob boss came and said, I could use your kids at target practice, everything that you just said. And Dom, on the other hand, didn't say. He said, as far as his daughter, it'll be a shame if she can't get into that school.
Yeah, not even intentionally I would do anything.
Right.
It would be a shame
Right.
if she couldn't get into the
there's so
school
many
she
things
wanted.
that people can take from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that is her dream school, and so many kids have that one dream school, if they can't get into it, depending, she might do something to herself. Nobody knows. You know what I mean? I like how. Bring me back to my question.
And then
You have
ultimately,
fashion.
hold on, I'm sorry. Can you just remember?
I hope so.
Just ultimately, he puts it ball in their court. Like, make the decision.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely. You have stated so many times before that you fashioned Dominic around you, in the sense with the, being very dominant.
I plead a fifth.
You don't even know what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
How did and especially with the two different lives, the two different worlds. I want to know, how did you fashion him? Are you and him in the same mind frame? Are you the same way in terms of getting all that information on somebody, all the in those details? You get details like him, like that?
I plead a fifth.
Damn it! I guess he didn't know what I was gonna say. All right, I guess that's fair. I pled the fifth one time too.
So, do you have any final thoughts?
Yes.
Pretty good chapter, man. I love it.
It's not, listen, it's not just a chapter that was pretty good. You have 7 books. You are, and like I was telling you, as I'm reading it, those little things, him mentioning his daughter, this is my copy, people, with my little cosa. I'm reading it and I'm like, "Yo, okay, blah, blah, blah," until you make Dom realize, oh shit, he fucked up. He has a daughter. That's when I realized, oh shit, how the fuck did he do that? That's true. Like, you have no wonder you have 7 books. People, you like what we talk about? You like these little clips? We do say that they're spoilers, but you need to get the books and start with the first one, because they are you're on a trip. You know what I mean? Like, you're on that roller coaster with them. And ladies, you will pick a woman that you're gonna what's the word that I'm looking for? You're gonna resonate with.
Now, go ahead, do your final thoughts, and then I'll do mine. Because I
No, go
love
ahead.
Strong Bonds of a Break, because like every book title matches the literary content.
Yes.
So Stuck Between Two Different Worlds was about the main character. Strong Bonds of a Break is about alliances. That is the cornerstone of the book.
Yeah.
Alliances.
Yeah.
So, with
There's still
this,
unfinished businesses.
yeah. So this is my final thoughts. I'm gonna read the synopsis. Now, with the ground-shaking sequel to the Stuck Between Two Different Worlds book, EL Discipline presents this captivating thriller, Strong Bonds Never Break. Sometimes the past has a way of resurfacing, reminding us that there are consequences to all of our actions, and this is no different. At times, having a hothead of a wife can be a disaster or a benefit. Disaster if she's fighting against you, but a benefit if she's fighting alongside you. A decision that was made long ago now places Dominic and Sophia in a predicament they cannot control. a Bonnie and Clyde relationship they once shared and thought to have left in the past. Now, that lifestyle which they left long ago has caught up with them as they begin to find themselves dealing with someone they never encountered before. New alliances are created and old alliances crumble. When the pressure is on, how much heat can a person take? We'll all find out if strong bonds never break.
Mm,
So it's like that
such a good book.
that book is a cornerstone of camaraderie
Mm-hmm.
and alliances. And like I said, old alliances crumble, new alliances are created.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was also creating the literary content, I would look back at the synopsis that I created,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be like, I was these specific prominent of words. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta use that and put that in there. Old new alliances created, blah blah blah. Strong bonds. I gotta put all that stuff in there
Right,
and
right.
put it together like a
Mm-hmm.
puzzle. So that's what I ended up doing with this, and you see it. And
Yeah.
this shit is actually real because how many times have we heard my boss is getting pinched because somebody in the
Yup, snitch.
organization
Yep.
snitched? So you see what I'm saying? So the reality is it's fiction, but it's really happening. And I kept mental documentation of that. I have an eidetic memory, and I just do everything in there, and that's why the book is so great.
No, it's not. It's not just you just threw everything in there. That I mean, I'm telling you, just like people have said so many times. When I read the comments, you have such a way of making people see things, like, and you can see clearly from the books, where you get that from.
Yeah.
So very good. You know what?
Final thoughts?
That was my final thoughts. I said my
Okay,
final thoughts.
cool. Yeah.
Was that yours?
Yeah,
All right.
pretty much like, the book, it's exciting to read it again.
When you reread it, do you get like that rush again, as like when you were writing it?
Chills.
Yeah.
I get chills
Are
like,
you like, damn, how the fuck did I do this? Shit is so good.
yeah. Yo, you
You're
know
like,
what's so
yeah.
crazy? I put into the universe like years ago that I've married Dominic like me.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to see over the years how
A lot of similarities coming up.
coming into fruition,
Yeah.
and it's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? Can you give us an example?
No. But I
Alrighty then.
started to be like, oh shit. Yo,
Mm.
I wrote about that.
How
Oh
interesting.
my.
I mean, they say words carry, and
Yeah.
when you write things out. So who knows? Maybe you wrote out your whole life in 3 books.
I just don't want the cartel and Russian mob and stuff. But I'll
Listen,
take everything else.
everything else is good.
Yeah. Even
All
though
right.
I'm not gonna say it.
Oh man.
In the past.
Oh Lord. All right. That's a whole different.
Yeah,
That's a whole different
that's probably
topic.
that's probably never gonna be a topic. I'm always keep that to myself.
All right.
All right, but I really appreciate us doing this. You always I love this when
I
you
love it too.
say we're gonna talk about my books. I love to
Yeah,
talk about
because
my books.
when I remember when you know what? This is for a whole different. We still got the whole rest of season 8 to go through.
Yes.
And we're gonna be doing the next book or the
Yeah,
next
next
chapter and
chapter.
so on and so forth.
Yeah,
So
and like I said last week, we're gonna be we're still gonna be talking about social issues
mm-hmm,
and social constructs and
of course.
like as far as relationships and men and women and what's going on in society.
Mm-hmm. But it's
But
nice to take a break from that and do this. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, because
Also,
I always try to also do something where it's like I have chapter titles that resonate with people
mm-hmm,
and
and
real
what's
life
going on?
issues. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So if you guys loved what you heard, you know, each and every one of his books is available for purchase. All you got to do is go on Amazon.com, pick any, put any of the titles in,
Yeah.
and it pops up.
Yeah, you could also I have an
Google him.
account. So you could also Google me, EL
Mm-hmm.
Discipline. It's E.L, no dot after the L. So it's E.L Discipline. Or you can even go on Amazon and put EL Discipline because I have an account on there and all my
Mm-hmm.
books will come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's for hard copy, soft copy,
Electronic,
ebooks, all that.
electronic version,
And soon to come, audio.
audios.
You saw how I try to deepen my. First of
Yeah.
all, my voice sounds like this because I was yelling, but I too can lower my voice.
Mm.
Doesn't sound the same. I know.
Yelling. What were you doing? Yelling.
I went to a fashion show. My
Oh,
niece, she was
okay.
the star of the fashion show. Ow, shout out Noah. Love you.
Okay, that's
All right,
what's
that's
up.
it. That's it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for this wonderful topic. And we'll see you later.
Peace.
Peace.